Okay, let's take a look at this question about a VECP. So first it says, where does it say how long a contracting officer has to accept or reject a VECP? So let's determine what the question is asking or the specific issue being researched. So clearly this is a term that I'm going to want to pull out of here, the VECP. I don't even really know what that is, right? And so that's something I'm going to want to check out and maybe search for. We're talking about how long does a contracting officer has to accept or reject. Okay, so that's answering the who there. All right, that's answering the who. And then it's saying how long does a contracting officer have to reject or accept the ECP. So these are some of the contextual elements of this question that I'm going to want to plug in. So let's just start by searching the regulations. And I'm going to be searching the FAR, but I also want to check the DFARS and DFARS PGI. And so I'm going to make sure I set this up correctly. So I'm going to turn on the DFARS and DFARS PGI, right? And then I'll just hit submit and then I'm going to turn on the FAR and let's plug in VECP. Let's just see where we talk about VECPs. And I'm putting it in quotes just because that's a habit I like to do, and I'm going to hit submit. Okay, so I'm searching the FAR and the DFAR. So right away, I am seeing that part 48 is going to play a role in this. Now right here, keep in mind that this is a clause, and we are not finding answers to these research questions in clauses, okay? So I can ignore the clause or provisions citations. So I'm just going to kind of take a look at these other ones. So we've got part 48, the clauses harken back to 48 as well. So this is kind of interesting. So I think I might take a look at this. Just part 48 in general is value engineering. So why don't I do that? I'm going to open that up in a new tab. And I am going to do, let me just look for VECP. So I've got 78 different times that this part mentions VECP, so I totally want to narrow that down. Why don't we use a different term? How about we search for contracting officer to see if that gives us, we still have 48 different instances when contracting officer is used. So this is a lot of information. You know, I could read through each instance of when we talk about VECP or contracting officer, but that's kind of a lot to do. So I'd like to try and, you know, shave down some time and that it's going to take me to search this one. So maybe I can search for something that has to do with how long. I mean, I can't just put how long in here, right? I need to put in some sort of a time frame. So maybe this is talking about days or weeks or years. What if I start with days? I'm going to try days. Okay. So I just typed in days. Now check this out. I just have one instance of when it mentions days right here. So that makes me feel pretty good. And it's this right here. It says the contracting officer is responsible for accepting or rejecting the VECP within 45 days from its receipt by the government. I'm going to check that against my question. Where does it say how long a contracting officer has to accept or reject the VECP? Well, to me, that clearly answers it right there. But that's just my initial answer. So I'm going to document that answer. Let me fix that. So I'm going to document this answer, FAR 48.103. And this was found in paragraph B. Okay, so that certainly does answer that question. Again, I'm going to scroll up to the subpart just to kind of see where I'm at. So this is policies and procedures of the part, which is value engineering. So I'm feeling pretty good about this now. I'm feeling pretty good about that first answer. Now I'm not done because I've searched the FAR. Now I need to check the DFARS and the supplementals as well as the DFARS PGI. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the DFARS in a new tab. Remember, this is at DPC, right? And then here I'm going to scroll down to the corresponding part. So it's FAR 48.103. So I need to go to 248. So I'm scrolling down to 248. Oops. Hold right about there, and this is going to be 248.103. So let's go to 248.103, and I look at that and I can see immediately that 248.1, that subpart does not even exist. Okay, in fact 248.2 has been deleted. It says there's no defarce text, and so I don't even have a section here to refer to in the defarce nor the PGI that refers to this specific issue. And so I'm feeling fairly confident that this is my answer. So I'm going to take a look back at the answer that I had found, and it is right here in 103 alpha, or excuse me, 103 Bravo. I'm going to reread it. The contracting officer is responsible for accepting or rejecting the VECP within 45 days from its receipt by the government, and that clearly fits and answers that exact question. I've checked the DFARS and the DFARS PGI, and so I'm confident in my answer.